All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Today, we got a little more civil war going on for you. So, Trump is confusing everybody on the right. So, some people on the right think he's an anti-establishment firebrand and he's going to take on the GOP, man. And then others realize, actually, no, he is the establishment on the Republican side. So you're going to see this is leading to some funny fights. Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon, they weigh in on the war inside the RNC, and they're probably just a little bit perplexed by old Donnie Boy. I also have Nick Fuentes, Milo Yiannopoulos. Was it their plan all along to just shake down Kanye West for all the money that he has? That's an interesting one. So I'll get into that. And then also, Hulk Hogan, for all the ancient people watching this show right now, of which I am one. I'm an ancient one performing the show for you right now. Apparently he's paralyzed, man. Apparently his legs don't work. Now, it's a little more complicated than that, and so we'll get to it. But, man, that's wild, isn't it? This is like from my childhood, Hulkamania. And I remember going to like WWF events back when it was WWF. My dad would take me. And it's crazy to think that guy is can't feel his legs. Anyway, I digress. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Got a bunch of stuff to get to. So Charlie Kirk has been engaging in this Republican Civil War. He very famously went out there and was like, I declare war on the Republican Party, bro. And, his reasoning was, hey, you know how we got draxed in the midterms? The problem was we weren't anti-abortion enough. And the problem was we didn't deny the 2020 election enough. So we needed to be bigger election deniers, and we needed to be more extreme on the issue of abortion. I mean, this is like, you couldn't get a more empirically incorrect analysis than that. Okay, so they had the big election over at the RNC. It was, I think, Harmeet Dillon was her name. That person, Mike Lindell, and Ronna McDaniel. I think Romney McDaniel. I think Romney's in her name, but she dropped it because that's in the Republican Party now. It's like, ugh, like, we don't like that guy. Anyway, so Ronna McDaniel is the establishment candidate, followed by Harmeet Dillon, and then followed by Mike Lindell, who's a psycho, crazy person who is the pillow guy who still thinks the election is rigged, and all he does is talk about rigged elections. Anyway, so at the last minute, you had an interesting thing happen. You had Harmeet Dillon got together with Mike Lindell and said, we're doing a unity ticket. So you get both of us, or you get, what's her face? Ronna McDaniel. And long story short, Ronna McDaniel won. Now, this is exactly who Charlie Kirk is against. Charlie Kirk did not want Ronna McDaniel to win. Okay, so here he is coping and seething after this went down. And man, this is a delicious clip for a number of reasons. Let's watch.
When I was walking the halls and I was shaking hands, one after the other said, well, Charlie, I'm a little bit confused. Mar-a-Lago is here. Some of the top Trump lieutenants are here advocating for Ronna. And it became abundantly clear that Ronna was the choice of Mar-a-Lago. That the current RNC regime that loses and wastes your money and sends you emails and hates you might have got across the finish line because Mar-a-Lago advocated for it. Now, I'm a huge Trump backer, and I remain that. I think it was a mistake to do that. I would have liked to seen Donald Trump do the exact opposite and send his lieutenants for change at the RNC. Not to continue with this Ronna Romney pattern of losing. And so that was really demoralizing. I'm not going to lie. Here I am trying to be your voice for the populist, nationalist, conservative movement. 98% of us want to see some sort of change. I get emails from you guys saying, Charlie, I give $100 a month that I don't have. Thank you for going to Dana Point to try to figure out what the heck is going on. And here I am learning that the guy that I'm backing in 2024, enthusiastically, by the way, because I believe that he's going to upset the establishment and that he's a true conservative, that his lieutenants at the very least, and I don't know how involved he was, but you can connect some dots, is the one working the halls. I think it's a big mistake.
The idea that he's going to upset the establishment. Charlie, he is the establishment. He is the establishment. He's got all the big money in the world. He's a billionaire. His number one legislative accomplishment was cutting taxes for corporations and the wealthy. Who are you kidding? Bro, Trump's going to upset the establishment by doing everything they want. What? Okay. So why? Why did this happen? How did this happen? The answer is very simple. It's all about the money, Charlie. It's all about the money. So what happened was, Trump steps in, talks to Ronna McDaniel, says to her, look, the RNC and Trump had like a fundraising agreement that went on for a hot minute. Trump probably got in the back room with Ronna McDaniel and said, what's the deal? Let's do another fundraising agreement. You know, if you agree to my terms, then I'll back you and you'll be the head of the RNC again. That's what it has to do with. Now, if that's not the most establishment thing of all time, I don't know what is. Because this is what people rightly criticized Hillary Clinton for with the DNC. When Bernie first ran against her in 2016 and Hillary was tied at the hip to the DNC and they had a fundraising agreement, and so they put their finger on the scale in every way, shape, and form to try to get Hillary across the finish line and get the debates on her terms and slip her questions and, you know, make the timing in the different counties such that in the Bernie counties they have less time to cast a vote than in the Hillary. Like, this all is a matter of public record. We learned it from WikiLeaks. Trump is doing the same thing with the RNC. So why did Trump not pick an anti-establishment candidate or change? Because he is tied in money-wise with the current RNC and with Ronna McDaniel. And, you know, Charlie, this is adorable, to tell you the truth. It's like he's got no idea how politics works. He's got no idea. He thinks like, well, she lost, so we don't think she did a good job, so it's time for change, so we should get rid of her. Now, again, he diagnoses it incorrectly because he thinks the problem is she's not insane enough. She doesn't pander to the base enough. She's not anti-abortion enough. She didn't talk about rigged election enough. So he's wrong in that sense. But it is a naive notion and an activist notion as opposed to an insider notion of like, well, look, we failed, so we need to change. And it's cute. It's cute that he's like, yeah, I'm all for change, but the guy I'm backing, Trump, appears to not be an honest actor. You don't say. Donald Trump, not an honest actor, in it only for himself, in it for the money, in it because he has a fundraising agreement with Ronna McDaniel? Wow. Color me shocked there, buddy. So, Charlie, welcome to the real world. Welcome to how politics actually works. You know, this is a classic Trump move. He'll back whoever is going to help his bottom line the most. And then there also might be some sort of trade-off and some sort of endorsement thing coming at some point. Like, Trump is playing the insider game behind the scenes perfectly. And so, but what'll be interesting to see now is what's Charlie going to do? Because if he feels snubbed by Trump, and he kind of cucked himself repeatedly in this clip, even though he says he disagrees with Trump, well, there is another candidate you can back, Charlie. I know the Daily Wire guys are backing that candidate. They're all in for DeSantis. Dave Rubin is all in for DeSantis. A lot of media types are all in for DeSantis. So, Charlie, if you want, you know, hey, you can strike back. But my guess is a guy like Charlie is more likely to do this. Where are the winds of my audience going? And so I'm going to go wherever they go. And so he probably feels like caught between Trump and DeSantis in a sense. But this is clearly, he's a little butthurt by what Big Papa did here. And I don't blame him, but it's also like adorably naive that he's like, I can't believe Trump backed the establishment candidate. Wow. Yeah, it's almost like he's part of the establishment. Oh, amazing. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.